Howdy, it's Jim Arado, and this is July 2021. We're going over the bridge. We're about to go into Pomeroy, Ohio. And this was just a little area that we hit, and kind of as we were meandering along the Ohio River, just hitting some of the cute little towns along the way. And we stopped here. There was a cute little farmer's market. There was a great little fella playing some music. And we found a really cool little coffee shop. And I'll probably not talk much about that because, I'll put up a different video just of that little coffee shop alone. I liked it so much. Yeah, check out the little art there on the left. And just before I forget, the coffee shop is River Roasters Coffee. And it's right across from where they have the little farmer's market. It's in a cool old building. And I believe I paid $2 for a small coffee there, which I think is a darn good deal at any nice coffee shop. Just a nice little place. Yeah, more on it later. And by the way, just to make a quick note, right there on the right is McDonald's, and I just want to note, this was one of the last McDonald's to stop serving McDonald's pizza. In 2017, they quit serving pizza. For several years, I meant to go there just to have the pizza, and I never got around to it. And now I regret it. I do remember, though, they had it in Owensboro when I was growing up, and McDonald's had what I thought was pretty good pizza. I just wanted to mention that. A little bit of information from Wikipedia about Pomeroy. Back in mid-1800s, 1848, salt was discovered, and they used a local coal to process the salt. Excelsior Salt Co., among many others, opened during this period and continued in business until 1975, when the EPA forced it to close because of high sulfur coal smoke in the air and the brine polluting the river. By 1870, the town had a population of 5,000, with a prosperous industry. River traffic was heavy. Steel mills, machine shops, breweries, etc., etc. It gets into that. Kind of a thriving area that's lost some of all that, obviously. Yeah, so several old buildings. Fire has been kind of bad in the area and wiped out some of the old buildings, which is always sad. The courthouse in town has the distinction of being mentioned in Ripley's Believe It or Not, because there is a ground floor entrance to each of its 3 stories. It has also seen its fair share of history since the completion in 1848. One such historical note is that the courthouse served as a temporary jail for more than 200 of Morgan's raiders after their capture at the Battle of Buffington Island. That guy's great. What are you talking about? Also says it's mentioned in Ripley's for a second time because it has no cross streets. And there's several festivals in town.
River Roasters, that's what we want right there.
Yeah, and here we are. We're kind of driving around their little main street that kind of follows the Ohio River. And I believe right there, well, on the right where we were just at, is the coffee shop I was talking about earlier. It's actually kind of, behind us at this point. We're going up to that courthouse that I just mentioned. And there's some cool little shops here. I kind of, we'd already had lunch. But this place looked kind of nice. This grill just looked interesting. But yeah, there's that courthouse, and it is a very interesting looking building. Check that out. There is a Civil War monument beside it. Oh, I love those. I think that's great when little areas have those. Yeah, just lots of pretty architecture down here. Some nice old buildings, obviously not the wooden ones that have been destroyed by fire. Yeah, just a nice area for walking around. Yeah, there's the monument. It's right beside the courthouse. Take that, Morgan and his men. Oh, and there's the river. Check that out.
I believe I'm falling in love. Found myself wanting her 10 times a day.
And I did not catch that singer or guitar player's name But he was doing a great job. I was really enjoying listening to him. I hope you did too. Hopefully he plays more of these little not festivals, but farmers markets. Yeah, just checking out the Ohio River from here.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
And we're pulling out of town. Again, right there, that building with the clock on the side, that's where that cool coffee shop I mentioned was. And you can see all sorts of other little cool places through here.
look and see if there's anything on
Kind of a nice kind of cloudy day. And we moved on. Yeah, we just kind of drove along the Ohio River and hit several little towns on this day. And sometimes I screw up my camera work and I forget to edit that out. Forgive me. And while I've still got Wikipedia up, wanted to mention a few of the notable people from the area. Actually, several NFL and Major League ball players have come out of Pomeroy. Ambrose Bierce, legendary writer slash Civil War personality. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. And there was another name I noticed on here earlier that I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, Valentine B. Horton, U.S. representative during the first 2 years of the Civil War. So you got a couple Civil War names. There's some baseball names, and yeah, Ambrose Bierce. I think that's really cool. And we're kind of heading out of town now. Just kind of checking out the view, checking out the river and the little town, some cute little churches. Yeah, the little farmer's market was nice. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I liked the musician. I'd like to hear more of him. This is definitely one of those towns we've just said, okay, we need to get back there. We enjoyed it so much. And yeah, several of these small towns along the Ohio River were like that, but Pomeroy was one of them. Not too far from Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which I've mentioned before. If you're doing your legend tripping and going to visit the Mothman City, the Mothman Museum, this isn't that far from there. Something definitely worth checking out. Yeah, and if you're from this town, did I miss anything? Is there something I need to go back and make more of a note of? Is there a historic marker, or did something interesting happen here? Let me know. Yeah, I guess that's about it. We just stopped here and had a nice time. We didn't get anything at the farmer's market. When we're traveling, we're kind of hesitant to get certain produce items or things we might have to refrigerate because we're not sure when we can get them home. But they had the standard local honeys and produce, that kind of stuff. We really enjoyed the coffee shop. We sat there for a while, and it was just a nice, cozy place to hang out. This seems like the kind of town that should definitely have a book written about it. Is there a book on Pomeroy, Ohio? Not a dry old history book, but a history book that's been written, that I could read in a few sittings. That might be interesting to check on. Yeah, if you know more about Pomeroy, please let me know. And yeah, it's right there. We were kind of crisscrossing Ohio and West Virginia quite a bit on this particular day, so we were sort of in that. We were definitely out of Kentucky, but we were in the kind of Ohio West Virginia part of the Ohio West Virginia Kentucky area. I always joke my wife grew up in the Ohio West Virginia Pennsylvania area, and you know what I'm talking about if you live in those areas. But yeah, I think this is just a lot of fun driving through here. Great way to spend a weekend driving along the Ohio River.